What's good, YouTube? Magnezone here, and sorry for the delay on the Expert Solo Battle Guides, but here we are with number 6 of 8 from the Celestial Guardians expansion with Passimian EX. But before getting into the guide, I'd like y'all to consider subscribing as we're so close to 500, and we post everything Pokemon Pocket on this channel, from Expert Solo Battle Guides like this one to Master Ball level deck breakdowns and gameplay. So whether you consider yourself a casual player or a competitive player, there's something for you on this channel. If you're new here, my videos for the Expert Solo Battle Guides are designed with the intention to take on both the specified type and the 3 diamonds or less in one go. So in the case of Passimian EX, we need a list that's all lightning or electric. I forget what term they use, but I start every guide with taking a look at what the opponent will be using, which in concept is a very strong idea, because Passimian EX is able to solve one of the problems Lucario had on release, which is it's way too slow. Building up a Lucario energy by energy was never a threat in in the metagame, and if it came up to Expert Solo Battle Guide, it was I remember where it didn't even come up. You never had to worry about the EX being built up. It was all him only. You had to play around the him only, which was crazy. But in this case, now they actually have a sound strategy where they build up their Passimian EX, they're attacking with it, and once it's gone, their Lucario is ready to go. And besides Lucario, the only other target for the Passimian other than himself is a Hitmonchan, which is 3 energy, 90 damage, which funny enough, once you see the list that we're using, which might be a spoiler, it's the biggest threat that they have. As for the rest of the list, they gave this deck 2 Reds and 2 Cyruses, which essentially do nothing against us, mainly because we're not playing any EX Pokemon since we're 3 diamonds or less, and since we just go full on attacks, the Cyrus doesn't really affect us. We don't usually have anything that's hurt in the background, unless there's a weird scenario where the Lucario's attack actually works. But again, not only is that a spoiler, once you see the list that we're using, you'll realize why that doesn't actually come up. And then the only other card we truly respect on their list, and we had play around or play against, is the Rocky Helmet. That residual damage could become an issue when we're trying to poke at it with, okay, funny, we're using Oricorio, right? Oricorio is the solution to this problem. Helmet could be annoying in that situation, because then a Riolu could come in and hit you for 40, and it starts getting a little odd. But yeah, obviously we have countermeasures to that. Honestly, I feel like I'm doing the breakdown of this deck a disservice, because the strategy is pretty sound and creative for what it is, which is an Expert Solo Battle Guide that the computer's going to be using against you. However, they just released a card that completely mitigates anything that this deck is trying to do. But with that said, let's go right into it. Magnezone Oricorio is sort of an anti-meta choice in ranked, but in Expert Solo battles, it's just unfair. The fact that actually all of these Expert Solo battles have a finisher that's an EX, and Oricorio just completely walls it. So it being able to single-handedly take down Passimian and Lucario and not get harmed is just ridiculous. Thus, leaving Hitmonchan as only the true threat, as I mentioned earlier. That's the only thing that we have to worry about. And obviously, we just build up a Magnezone in the back that's just able to knock it out. Side note about their options: despite Hitmonchan clearly being able their best bet, when faced with an active Oricorio, at least from my experience, they will delay evolving Riolu. They'll leave their Riolu without going into Lucario in order to have something that could deal damage. I don't know what exactly when they decide to evolve and when not to, because I've had both experiences. It feels like if you lead Oricorio, they will hold off on evolving if they can. As for the Magnezone line, as mentioned, it goes without saying that anything that could produce its own energy is a strong card. But then in here, it's even better, because obviously Oricorio is just a wall that they can't really get through for the most part. And meanwhile, you're just building up your finisher in the back. And sometimes Oricorio can win it by himself, but realistically, so you're not just sitting there forever hitting for 50, because they only have 1 heal, so it's not going to be sitting too long. But to prevent that and not have to fully play around Rocky Helmet, the Magnezone being able to hit for 110 at the end is great. With the help of Red, you're one-shotting Passimian, and realistically, Lucario can't even one-shot you, because the most they do is 100 damage. Actually, nothing in their list could one-shot you. And I'm talking about Magnezone, right? As for the trainer cards, I continue to add Iono and Communication to most of my Expert Solo Battle Guides, because it's just a consistency piece. You want to mulligan your hand to get a piece that you're missing, or send the Pokemon back to grab it. It's mostly just to finish up the Magnezone line that you're missing, whether you're missing a Magnemite or a Magneton or whatever it is, or for the rare occasion where you're hard stuck on just the Magnezones and you need to find an Oricorio, because Lucario can take out the Magnezone line. Passimian followed up by Lucario could be a problem if you don't see Oricorio. So again, consistency pieces just to make sure you see that. Potion and Guzma essentially serve the same purpose. Clearly Guzma's better because it completely clears the Rocky Helmet, but in the case that you don't see it or you want to use your supporter on something else, having the potion also mitigates the damage. You could attack, Oricorio attacks into a Rocky Helmet, and then the next turn you follow it up with potion. It's if nothing happened. Last but not least, the other card I want to mention is the Celestic Town Elder. and it's essentially just to have an option to loop Oricorio, whether it's because you don't see the second one or they somehow got through 2 of them and then you just hard wall them with the 3rd one. But that's more of like a flex spot. There's a lot of flex spots in this list because outside of, if you essentially win the second that you drop the bird. But ultimately, I hope you find this guide helpful, because although it may not be the most challenging expert solo battle guide, and the second I tell you Oricorio, you're like, oh, I could definitely beat this on my own. At least there's like multiple purposes to this video. One is to highlight how to beat Passimian specifically, and 2 is to highlight that if you whether it's a video that I've done that you don't have the cards to beat it, or I haven't made videos personally from like Genetic Apex or Mythical Island, because I wasn't doing like these style videos at the time, and going hindsight is kind of like weird. I don't know how to like fit them into my video schedule. Regardless, if you still have some of those undone and you still need to beat them with 3 diamonds or less, Oricorio is just like the perfect tool to use, whether you want to use this exact list or just an Oricorio list in general, like a Greninja one or something. But yeah, you could use this exact list, and Oricorio will wall essentially every like finisher that these expert solo battle guides have. And honestly, it's just, that's like at least another takeaway from this video. As always, stick around for the gameplay of this video, as it gives a better idea of how to navigate the matchup. At the end of the day, these videos are just meant to help you. So whether it helps you in this video in this challenge specifically, or in one that I've yet to do, or in one that's way in the past, whatever, regardless, I hope it helps somebody. It helps you do something, and above all else, stay pro. All right, we go first, which realistically in this matchup, outside of them just like turboing into like a Hitmonchan somehow, which requires 3 energy to attack, we're pretty much set. I actually don't know if they have like the wherewithal to like stick to like the mini Riolu, if that makes sense. Well, not the mini Riolu. Riolu is the mini Lucario. That's what is why I got mixed up there. Realistically, this game, like, you have Oricorio, that's it. They got nothing on you. The fact that we could even build up a Magnemite is even better. But yeah, and at least in my experience, they'll charge up Passimian, excuse me, to Seismic Toss, and they'll just keep swinging at this bird and hope for the best. And clearly we know that nothing's gonna happen. The reason we play Guzma is to get rid of that, so that we could poke at it without like harming ourselves. We also play Potion for the same reason. Like, it mitigates 1 hit from the Rocky Helmet. But you see, they already have their guy up set up there, and that's like the only thing we fear. But at best, it could knock out 1 bird, because at 90 HP, we either knock it out with Magnezone, like a charged up Magnezone, or simply 2 hit by Oricorio, depending on like who got there first, right? We could technically hold this because we're playing Communication, but we already have Magnezone, right? So let's start charging up the bird, and at the same time charge here. For a second, I thought my turn was over. Like, I'm used to the Giratina that just gets out of there once your turn's over, once you charge up. But you see, they'll start swinging at it, and they're like hoping for the best. Nothing can happen. The only issue is that once we knock out this this monkey, the Hitmonchan is online. Okay, this is guaranteed the second bird. And then we're playing Elder Lady, because there's a line where you just put 3 birds, and that's all you give them to like try to knock out, and you'll never lose. Even if they like the Hitmonchan takes out one of your birds, you then start like trading until they're stuck with just EXs. They only have 1 copy of Hitmonchan, although I'm pretty sure I said that in the deck profile. Let's charge up here. Again, we do have access to at least to the 1 potion, so we will attack here. And the only reason I'm not putting, I could have put Oricorio down, but at the same time, Communication into Magnezone would be cool. And the Oricorio is almost like a slap in the face, because realistically, the same almost like card for card, the list that I used for the Rayquaza event is good enough to win in this situation. Like in this, like without Oricorio, you could do like the Electivire / Magnezone list, and you'll do just fine. This is guaranteed Magnezone. And Hitmonchan hits Magnezone for 110. I think it's worth like, no need to like keep like, what's the term I'm looking for? I guess like there's no need to like play with our food. It's not the cleanest way to win, because right now we're gonna give the Hitmonchan a chance to like actually like hit back, but we could even X speed if we wanted to preserve energy, but we don't need to do any of that. This video is me going through the motions really, because honestly, just the fact that you have Oricorio, and realistically, if you're struggling in any expert solo battle, use the bird. That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, you won't be able to do the opposite type thing, but oh, you know, actually no, I was like, you know where I messed up? That they play, hold on, they play red. They don't play Giovanni, so we're fine. At most, what they'll do here is Cyrus out the bird and knock it out, but then we just revenge knock it out with Magnezone, and we're good to go. But no, they went straight up, and that's it. That's the game. And if we, you know, for the sake of protecting the Magnezone's HP, you know, we'll give him some potions so it doesn't knock out to the Rocky Helmet. And yeah, so essentially the potions almost like could technically be a second Guzma, but it's like, or the Guzma could be a second potion, like, or you could also play Pokemon Center Lady. All those cards work, but again, it's, although you are playing the opposite type and they are hitting us like super effectively, the fact that that bird exists and it's in the typing that we need for the challenge, it's just too easy. Regardless, we always do multiple examples, so let's go on to another one. All right, going second, so I guess you get two versions of the way. I don't know what's going on. But whatever. Going second. So you get multiple ways of how we just destroy this deck. Yeah, especially if they don't start Riolu, they can't attack the bird at all. If they start Hitmonchan, it takes forever to build up. So yeah, and we have double Pokeball, we have communication, we have so much going for us. There's the helmet. You see, so now we see Guzma and they're out of tools, but the thing is actually finding it. All right, we got Pokeball. I know y'all saw that. It just like, I put it up forward and I was just like, nah, I'm okay. All right, so there's a world where we could just like sit on double bird and like let it ride, but, or we could also like communication the bird into a Magneton, but since it's not guaranteed, we'll wait a turn on that and just start loading up the bird and passing. Also, like, this is a good test, I guess, to see if they value Riolu as like something that could attack this bird, like if they recognize that, or if they're just gonna like, we don't even need to use the communication, we could establish a second one. So yeah, I wonder if they see that's an option, or if they're just gonna evolve it into Lucario EX as soon as they can. And you know, I'll play into it. I'll make it seem like enticing for them to go. Because yeah, Riolu doesn't knock us out here, but it puts us pretty close, right? It hits us for 40. I truly wonder if they see that line. Granted, I just realized that they have no energy to back up. Okay, potion. Yeah, no, never mind. I was like, they don't really have a way to do it. Okay, they do. Like, when the X speeds. So they do in fact see that play. So that's, I guess, that's a good thing that I kept. That I decided to do multiple tries, even though I thought this like matchup was pretty free. Unfortunately for them, we have the perfect answer, which is Guzma here. Magnezone here. And we could even save up the energy. And this should be game because they have no... do they have healing? Let me see. They have a potion in the list. So technically they could go up to 120, which would make them survive this following turn, but... Wait, no, they used it already, right? Or am I confusing my games? Yeah, they used their one potion. So this Passimian cannot knock us out. At best, they could Cyrus out the Oricorio just for the sake of doing so. Yeah. This fighting deck struggles with the fact that like they have a lot of dead cards. Like I probably went over it in the review, in the deck profile part, but like playing two reds is brutal. The way they use their helmets, if you see Guzma, that's another like 2 dead cards. XP, as you could clearly see, it helped them out a little bit, but not enough. And that's just like, honestly, it's probably the easiest solo battle since like the inception of the game, and it is 100% because Oricorio exists. But even then, it's like not the craziest. But Passimian with Lucario though is a nice combo. Like if you were trying to play it without the bird, you might find yourself like struggling to take down, because as soon as you finally find a way to knock out Passimian, that Lucario swing really hard in the back line. but you don't have to worry about any of that. They're both EXs. So ultimately, I hope y'all found this video because it has like two like teachings to it. One, how to beat the challenge at hand, which is the Lucario. Well, actually no, Passimian and Lucario expert solo battle. But it also, like, if you're struggling with any of the expert solo battles that I've done in the past because either you're missing cards or you already beat it with like an EX. Like let's say it's you need to beat it with water only, and you already did it with like your Gyarados deck, but now you need a 3 diamond or less version to beat a deck that requires, like, I don't know if I'm rambling too much. What's a good example? Literally anything. Even the Incineroar list, which is one of the videos I've been doing the most, like getting a lot of views. And if you're going against Incineroar and you already found you beat it with like Decidueye, which is an EX, and now you need to beat it with 3 diamonds or less, and you don't have Masquerada or something, Oricorio, they cannot take you out. Just make sure you play a lot of healing because they can burn you with its 30 damage attack, whatever it is. I'm rambling a lot, but regardless, I hope this video helps you. There's multiple things to take away from it, regardless of it being like too simple. But above all else, I hope this helped y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching, especially if you got to this point. Consider subscribing, and above all else, stay pro.